I think a lot of times when people go fishing, they just simply want to get a lot of bites. And one of the best ways to get a lot of bites is throwing a weightless or as close to weightless as you can soft plastic stick bait or a finesse worm. And there's a lot of different ways that you can fish the bait. You can fish it Texas rigged, just straight with a hook on there, and you can fish it wacky style. You can fish it some varieties of wacky style. You can put a heavier weight on there. A lot of guys do that, but I think if you're just really trying to get bites, fishing it as weightless as you can, on as light a line as you can, will get you some bites on about every lake in the United States at any given time. I may have one that just bit it, I don't know. Yep. Not very big, but come here. That right there, I literally was telling Rusty, the camera guy, I said, I think one just bit it. I never felt the fish. I just saw a little bit of a swirl, and it's fairly shallow back here. And a lot of times when you start fishing, for fun into the backs of some of these pockets, you'll find a lot of fish that size that'll just be piled up in little schools. You'll see them when you get over them. And it's really pretty neat, but I never felt that bite. No, not at all. He just choop right and hit the water. See if he's got a buddy. There's a lot of different ways to rig soft plastics when you're fishing them the way we are right now, which is, mostly very, very lightweight. Texas rigging it for the most part, using a spinning rod, kind of just trying to generate a lot of bites. It's a phenomenal way to catch a lot of fish and some big ones. It's a proven technique all over the nation. And when you're fishing this way, a couple of different choices. You've got your traditional baits right here. This is basically a big bite baits trick stick. And then we've got a finesse worm here as well, and both of them can be rigged the same ways, but there's also a few little tricks that you can do to them. For instance, this one here, if you decided to fish it wacky, which is very common, already has a ring built into it. You can see the ring right here. I'm gonna pull it out, but it's already embedded into the bait right here, so that you're not tearing every bait every time you make a cast, and you can actually fish it with a small little weighted jig head like I've got here. This is a Secret Lures MVP wacky rig hook right here. You could use a traditional trocar type hook and do the same thing without a weight by just running it through the little ring right there, and then you're casting it out and letting it fall. Whether you add a little weight to the nose or on this rig, or no weight at all, or you go with this particular hook and weight system right here, and what that does is provide that style of a wacky rig presentation that's so popular and has caught so many fish all over the place. Another very popular way to rig them is basically like I've been doing today, and I'm actually using a bigger hook here for demonstration purposes, so you'll be able to see it. I prefer a 1/0 hook. This is actually a 2/0 Trocar Big Nasty, which will work for this as well, but I run it into the middle like that, and then I'll turn it like this, and this is a technique that Crete really showed me and kind of refined for me, and then I'll bury everything in like that, and then I put a small little nail weight right in here to give it a little bit of weight, and it'll kind of fall down and really has a great presentation. I can skip it up around docks, fish it around any kind of vegetation, any kind of brush, and it really works perfect for me, and will perform in a lot of different situations. And the technique, like I've said and like I've demonstrated, I want to throw it out, I want to bow in my line. I want to not move it as much, if any, that I can. I want it to sit there, I want it to marinate. The more I move it, more often than not, the less bites I'm gonna get. I want to throw it out, let the bait do its thing, let it subtly fall to the bottom, and let it sit there for a second. Let that bass go over and take a peek at it, suck it in, start swimming off. Then you set the hook and you got him. There's one. Goodness gracious, this guy's mean here. Oh yeah. Look at that. Is that not fun? That's a good fish right there. Come here, buddy. Come here. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. That is so fun. I love the colors on these fish when they get down here in that clear green water like that. I let him go. That's so fun. Just a little tick. Little tick. You go back, grow up, somebody else will have some fun catching you as well. Like I say, if a guy's wanting to get some bites, you see me throw rigs like this a lot with just a hook, a little nail weight, a finesse worm, a little bitty one, trick worm type deal, and I throw it out with on a spinning rod with braided line, and it gets bites every time. And if you want to go get some bites, which is what fishing is supposed to be about, that's certainly one way to get them. See if we can't catch another one.